In the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. If God calls me, I will answer. If God calls me, I will answer. If God calls me, I will answer. I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. Working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. In the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. That's from Old Brother, Where Art Thou? The movie.
Lucille Park. Don't you just want to do a do-si-do and sketch? Yeah. Very happy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome CSL Carlsbad. It's Sunday morning. It's like, wow, look at it. We're all together. We haven't even skipped a beat. Yeah. It's so good to be here on Sunday morning to have a full house. So I know the blessings are upon us. So that was Lucille Park, and this center is based on the knowledge that there is one great universal presence which we call Spirit. And I would like to invite Morgan to come up and light our candles this morning. Is she? I thought I just saw her.
I've got Morgan.
I forgot my name.
Forgot her name. Morgan brought the snacks this morning. They look amazing, just to let you know. So please join me in honoring the unifying nature of spiritual thought and experiences as we light the flames of faith, acknowledging all people and all faiths, symbolized by these 6 candles. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony, equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the ethical path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for Buddhism, honoring the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for Islam, honoring the path of peace through the submission to the will of God. And finally, I invite you to put your hand over your heart. Take a moment to recognize that light within that is always shining. As we honor our metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Morgan. So So our statement of truth is there is a powerful good in the universe and you can use it. The mission of this center is to teach, demonstrate, and to inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. So these are the announcements for the week. So if you're visiting Carlsbad for the very first time, we invite you to sign our guest book out in the lobby and to also sign up for our weekly emails. And if you need your email to be updated, I invite you to do that also. A word about mask. If you're wearing a mask to the grocery store, please consider wearing a mask here. And let's all try to remember and ask permission before we give someone a big hug. We want this to be a safe and relaxing place for everyone. And I love to hug, so I'll have to remember to ask. The center exists because of you and our volunteers. And if you're interested in helping out, to be a volunteer, please sign up in the lobby. We truly appreciate this help. Without the volunteers, we could not function. And I want to give a special thanks to Reverend Almondra today, who did an amazing meditation on prosperity. I'm just open to knowing the blessings continue to flow in my life and everybody's life here. I want to thank Ruth Ann for the beautiful, amazing flowers. Ruth, did that come from your garden?
No, not this time.
Oh.
It's in between.
In between, some
Next
is, yeah.
time I'll be able to do it from a garden.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, thank you. And we want to thank Nick and Norm were here very early and they were setting everything up, so thank you very much for doing that, I appreciate it. And refreshments, Morgan brought refreshments today, they look amazing, so afterwards, let's break bread and have fellowship. And we want to thank Larry for every week being faithful and doing the recording for us. If anyone would like to help him out, I know that he's willing to train you. He's been doing this for a while. He's proficient. It isn't artistry, but he can train you very easily. Thank you. So we started collecting donations for a caring and sharing project, and we're sponsoring a memorial gratitude well for the village of Odisha in India, sponsoring Save a Child. If you would like to donate to the well, I believe there's a place in the lobby that you can donate, and this well is going to be an honorarium of our late great Dr. Jane Claypool. Yay! And the last announcement, to make sure you take your car with you when you leave, because we'll be locking the parking lot. So now please find a group reading inside your program and join me and to read it out loud. Together we say, God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with the perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. And one more announcement. Oh my God, did you guys say you collected $200 for, all right. So everyone collected $200 for interfaith. And Lucille Park.
Okay, hey, good morning, everybody. It's just great to be here. I'm perfectly fine. I did a COVID test last night. I'm perfectly fine. I just got a little frog. So, everybody, we have, let me just say,
Do you want us to stand?
yeah, why not? Let's do. And I typed up the when I pray Daniel Naaman, of course, the great channel. So, are we missing? You know, I know a lot of us know it, but I made about 25 copies. Does anybody need? Okay. All right. So, this is such a wonderful centering song. So everybody sing out with me. Here we go. When I pray, I feel feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God when I pray. I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right here, right now, I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, love, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right where I am, I pray. Right where I am, I pray. You're the Bible. Bless you. That was a little commercial. That was such a beautiful devotional song, Lucille. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Okay, so as you know, affirmative prayer is our power here. And if anyone needs prayer, I'm going to invite you to have a prayer request, put it out in the lobby in the box. And if you need a prayer after the service, I am here. Reverend Kate DuVivier is here, and also our practitioner, Larry, is here, Bungay. And with that, I would like to invite our reader up, Catalina. Here is the reading right here. This is what we were looking for. I'm so sorry.
Hi. This reading is from Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. The most widespread disease of our time may well be the I can't-itis. It is contracted by many of us early in life from our elders. Society has made a song of it that has neither rhyme nor reason, but it may be heard everywhere. I can't because I'm poor, I can't because I'm sick, I can't because I don't have the ability, I can't because there's no opportunity. I can't because I'm too old. I can't. Few persons use more than a small part of the tremendous God power within. You can alter the pattern of harping on the same old I can't tune. Actually, there can be no progress in the realization of prosperity until you do so. It calls for knowing, really knowing that you are a spiritual being living in a limitless spiritual universe, endowed with the whole potential energy flow of the universe. In most cases, the problem is faulty evaluation. For instance, you may say, I'm an average sort of person. This leads to the subconscious acceptance of the wisdom of the world, which proclaims the chances of success for the average person in this or any enterprise are about 1 in 7. But why be an average person? All the great achievements of history have been made strong by strong individuals who refused to consult the statistics or listen to those who could prove convincingly that what they wanted to do, and in fact ultimately did do, was completely impossible. Let go of the I can't and begin to identify yourself as God's living enterprise. You are not just an average person. You are you. You are a unique individualization of the universal creative process. Affirm for yourself, I can because I am.
Thank you, Karen. I know I can. And now we have Lucille Park.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when the faith shall be sight, the clouds be rolled back as a scroll, the trumpet shall resound, and God is within. So I know it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. It is It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well, all is well with my soul. It is well, all is well with my soul.
Lucille, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. It is well, all is well with my soul. And now I would like to invite you, I would invite our speaker and my soul sister and our spiritual leader, Reverend Kate DuVivier.
It's really fun to have Lucille here today. I don't know, it's been a long time. And Lucille, I wonder, when did you first start attending here?
When we lived in Encinitas in 1998.
Yeah. So it's just fabulous to have you with us. I know you don't live that close anymore, but thank you for coming. So, good morning. This is, we're in the middle of our third month of being open, which is great. We reopened in April, and we focused on the idea of abundance. In May, we talked about the fact that miracles are possible. Now, in June, we're talking about fabulous manifestation, and these are not random themes. We really felt like after all that everyone has been through in the last 2 years plus, we just needed to plunge back into our teaching. Just dive into the essence. Just pick it up and start using it. Because we know that there's a power for good greater than we are, and we can use it. So let's do it. So right now, I want you to get started by using your imagination. So if you want, you can close your eyes, but you don't have to. But if you want to close your eyes, just imagine for a moment that you're standing at the beach, maybe standing at the cliffs, looking over at the ocean and the sand below, seeing the sky, and you're by yourself, you're totally alone. What words come to mind when you see this? Beautiful, perfection, a vast, expansive. Now imagine that you start noticing that there's a lot of activity going on in this scene, that actually you're not alone. You might see a pelican flying low over the water looking for fish. Maybe if you're lucky, and since it's imaginary, you can be lucky, you see dolphins playing in the waves. And maybe you see little children playing in the waves too. And on the sand, children playing with their buckets, looking for sand crabs, digging holes. Maybe there's some squirrels on the cliff scurrying around. Or you might see some teenagers swimming or surfing or just hanging out together with their friends. More people come into the picture. People swimming, people walking with their friends, or walking alone, or just sitting and reading or sunbathing. Maybe there's a few groups on the beach of people having big picnics with their families. Perhaps behind you, some people are still just getting out of their cars, grabbing their coolers or their towels. And then you notice there are a few people like you standing on the sidewalk, enjoying the view. If your eyes are closed, open them. Okay, open your eyes. Well, you don't have to open your eyes. If you want to listen with your eyes closed, that's okay. But my point is, in this imaginary scene, there's only one ocean, one sky, one beach, and yet there's all this activity going on. So we say, likewise, in our teaching, there's only one thing, spirit itself. But there's all this diverse activity going on within this vast infinity of life. Spirit outpictures all the time as substance itself, even as our ideas and thoughts. But whatever's going on is not taking anything away any more than a swimmer takes something away from the water. So as we live and have our lives, we're not taking anything away from spirit. We're simply using it. So if I said to you, let's plan a trip to the beach. What do you want to do at the beach? Well, one of you might say, well, I just want to take my camera or my smartphone and take some pictures to put on Facebook. And another person might say, well, I'm going to get my swimsuit and my towel and go swimming. Or someone else might say, let's just go for a walk at sunset. There's a multitude of choices. But I think that if I asked you that, everyone could think of something quickly, right? Without any hesitation. Now, if I say to you, well, what about your life? Let's plan a trip into your future. Maybe the answer of what you want to do is not going to be quite that easy. Some people know what they want to do in life at an early age, but a lot of us, no matter what our age is, it's like, I don't know. Why is that? You know, why do we falter? Why is it so hard to express in words or in thoughts what it is we want? I mean, even if you think of it, if I ask you, you might not want to share it with you. See, that's the hitch that we are all kind of running into, which is suspicion that there might not be enough. Suspicion that what we want might not be possible. This is an idea of limitation, or what we call lack. And it's based on the idea that actually there's not enough. There's not enough for me. There's not enough for me to have what I want, to do what I want, to experience what I want. And I'm just trying to point out, that's like saying, there's not going to be enough water in the ocean for me to go swimming. Maybe those other people can go swimming. But when I get there, it's just going to dry up. So I just want to, remind you what we talked about last week. We're all worthy. We're all children of spirit. We humans deserve to have a good life in the same way that an elephant deserves to have a good life. It's something intrinsic that belongs to us. So how do we do it? Well, and this is the basic teaching. Our basic teaching is, it is the tendencies of our thoughts that create the tendencies in our lives. It's not the past, unless our thoughts are based on the past. The past does not create our future. It's our thoughts that create our future. It's not the people around us. The people around us don't create our future except when our thoughts are based on their thoughts or our experiences with them. And sometimes it can be hard to separate ourselves from our past or from other people, and actually I doubt if you really want a complete separation. There's a lot of good there, but what we need to do is to begin to see clearly, to see what's happening and to make choices based on these things, based on our past experiences, and then we can make better decisions going forward. And the biggest stumbling block that a lot of us face is simply to let go of the ideas that are blocking us from our good. So, for instance, one of the pioneers of New Thought, Emma Curtis Hopkins, and like she's written a zillion books, but for me, it's one short sentence that I grappled with for years. She just said, you ought to be able to say this. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. I struggled with that for years. I practiced saying it to try to get to the point where I wouldn't be saying it and denying it while I was saying it. You know, that's what disbelief is. You can say it, but you don't really incorporate it. And through practice, and this for me was a spiritual practice, I began to accept it. It began to make sense. And now I realize that we don't just deserve good. Seeking our good is as necessary to us as breathing. It's what we do. People talk about the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction. And I'm going to be talking mostly about the law of attraction today. People talk about the law of attraction as being something mysterious or tricky. But actually, it's nothing more than putting into use the basic principle that we teach. The tendencies of our thoughts create the tendencies of our experience. It is a fundamental truth. But what we want to do is use the law of attraction consciously. And in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is follow Ralph Waldo Emerson's advice. I like this. He said, you have to get your bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits, you know, because it's like, oh yeah, bloated nothingness, right? Let's face it, you know, we have a lot of crazy blocks and obstacles that really, they're bloated nothingness. They're not necessarily true at all. So, you know, when I first heard about the law of attraction, a long time ago, I watched a video, like a real VHS video too, that was by a prosperity expert. And he said that what you needed to do in order to create a consciousness of prosperity is you needed to go rent a fancy car. And you needed to drive around in it all day, and that would let you have the feel for what it would be like to be rich. And then he said, you need to treat yourself to a meal at a fancy restaurant. So that would help you internalize what it would feel like to experience wealth. And if you Google the law of attraction today, you're going to find like a zillion articles and suggestions and all kinds of crazy shortcuts to how to use the law of attraction to improve your life. But actually, I do not recommend splurging on things you can't afford in order to create a sense of prosperity. If anything, that's just perpetuating poverty, right? Because then you have less than you had the day before instead of more. So I don't recommend that strategy. It's not easy to create a consciousness based on externals. We create our consciousness with our own spiritual development, with our internal experiences. Everyone's heard stories about people who get financial windfalls, win the lottery or have an inheritance, but then they can't hang on to the money. It's like easy come, easy go. And that is not what we're talking about at all. We need to begin at the beginning, within ourselves. So, to start with, we need to understand that the word abundance is not just about money at all. Money is just one part of it. It includes all kinds of experiences. It's not limited to prosperity any more than the ocean is limited to being a place where fish live. Abundance is a state of freedom, living in a state of freedom. A state of freedom where you can have, where you can do, where you can create, where you can enjoy. And that's why we can use the law of attraction to enhance our good. You know, I even heard yesterday, I heard a song, well, I saw it because it's a song in a video, by Willie Nelson. And it was called Energy Follows Thought. And I was like, oh, that's so exciting. Even Willie Nelson is promoting this idea of the law of attraction. Our thoughts precede our experience. But of course, I'm going to take you way back in time because that's what I like to do. So instead of, it's like those songs by Willie Nelson. I think of them as leaves on a tree. It's the blooming of our teaching. But I want you to go back to the roots of our teaching. So Judge Thomas Trower wrote back in around, I think he might have said this in about 1910. And actually he wrote very radical things about using the law of attraction. They go way beyond, rent a car. This is what he said. He said, the whole livingness of life consists in receiving or radiating forth the vibrations produced by the law of attraction. Everything. And he said, in the kingdom of mind, these vibrations necessarily become conscious outreachings of the mind in the direction to which it feels attraction. That is to say, they become desires. So the outreaching of our mind is a desire. He said, desire is therefore the mind seeking to manifest itself in some form which as yet exists only in its thought. Desire is the principle of creation. Whether the thing being created is a world or whether it is a wooden spoon. Both things, a world and a wooden spoon, have their origin in the desire to bring something into existence which does not yet exist. Whatever the scale may be in which we exercise our creative ability, the motive power, the energy power, the vibrational power must always be desire. Desire is the force behind all things. It is the moving principle of the universe and the innermost center of all life. And desire has fulfillment for its correlative, right? The desire and its fulfillment are bound together as cause and effect. Desire and its fulfillment are like cause and effect. And when we realize this law in their sequence, we shall be more than ever impressed with the supreme importance of desire as the great center of life. So I wanted to read that because, usually when you talk about the law of attraction, people are talking about having something more. The root of the idea is that desire is the creative principle in use. So Judge Trower taught that the desire to become something more than we are is nothing more, nothing less than the eternal spirit of life seeking ever fuller expression. He saw that humans can actually play a conscious role in the evolution of the world, in the evolving expression of life that is always taking place. And he felt that we should do it with the wisdom that comes from learning by experience and from learning by investigation, as well, of course, by each other. Right? We learn from him, and and he was a great scholar. He learned from many other sources. He's saying that the law of attraction is fundamental, not only to our own existence, it's fundamental to life itself. Now, the founder of our teaching, who was wordy, but not as wordy as Thomas Trout, luckily, he talked about, well, how to use it. And he said this about the law of attraction. He said, well, you're either attracting or repelling according to your mental attitudes. You're either identifying yourself with lack or with abundance, with love and friendship or with indifference. You cannot keep from attracting into your experience whatever you are identifying with. Your experience is going to correspond to the sum total of your state of consciousness. This law of attraction and repulsion acts automatically. It is like the law of reflection. The reflection corresponds to the image held before a mirror. Life is a mirror. It's a mirror peopled with our own forms of acceptance. And then he goes on and says, you should be careful to guard your thoughts and see to it that you keep them free from doubt and fear and accept only the good. And you also should consciously repel every thought which denies that good. So if you have a thought of doubt or lack, you want to get rid of it. So the other thing he said, knowing this, knowing how the law of mind works through the law of attraction, that it works automatically with your thoughts, means you can be free. You're not really personally responsible for making any of this work. And then he says at the same time, but you are responsible because you have to use them in order to experience tangible results. So that's kind of like, you're not responsible, but you are responsible. So Trevor explained that. He just said the thing that we have to remember, he called it the law of growth. And said, we shouldn't be like children who plant a seed one day and dig it up the next day to see whether or not it grew. Right? Our part is simply to plant the seed and know that it will grow. To have confidence. So that's it. That's the whole secret to using the law of attraction. To understand that it is actually a lot like creating a garden. We get the soil ready to plant by clearing out the weeds of disbelief and creating a mental atmosphere of fertile soil of belief by simply seeing and knowing there will be good in our garden. We do have great expectations for our garden. We need to become willing to recognize that there's already abundant fertile soil in our garden, and that we can plant the seeds we want to plant with a sense of gratitude because we know that they will grow. That's the way it works. That's the way the law of attraction works. because we absolutely need to believe that what we sow, we shall harvest. Then we pay attention daily to our garden, not because it is up to us to actually make the seeds grow, but because as we tend it, as we water it, as we nourish it, it creates a better and better environment for these seeds to flourish, right? So you don't want to just plant it one day and then that's it, I'm done. It could work, but then again, if you go back and check and make sure it's got water and the bugs of disbelief aren't eating the plants, it's going to work better, you know. Instead of plucking out weeds, what we're going to do is pluck out unwanted thoughts, disbelief. When we see a negative thought, we're going to get rid of it and replace it with a positive thought or a couple of positive thoughts. We're not planting vegetable and flower seeds. We're planting desirable thoughts. Thoughts of good things we'd like to see more of. Thoughts of prosperity, peace, health, general thoughts of good, and also specific thoughts of good. So in my garden, I might have a fruit patch and a vegetable patch and a flower patch. And in my flower patch, I might plant a rose. In my fruit area, I might plant an avocado, you know, so we have both general and specific. So it all boils down to the truth that our thoughts create the tendencies in our lives. And that with practice, we can become better metaphysical gardeners. Okay? It doesn't matter if you have a green thumb in your real garden. You can do well in your metaphysical garden. So this week, I encourage you to begin to plan your garden. I have a handout. Do we have that handout? That would be great. If Nikki can, she's going to share that with you. But I have a handout, and this handout on the one side is a blank piece of paper, and if you want, you can write down some words. This is a take-home. This is a take-home exercise. But on the blank side, if you want to plan your garden by simply listing the attributes, the qualities you would like to see in your garden, just like you'd like a healthy garden, maybe you would like to have a healthy life, a joyful life, a prosperous life, harmonious, peaceful. These are the big attributes that you might like to see in your garden. So write a list. You don't have to do it now, but when you're at home, write a list of the things you'd like to see in your garden. And the ones that maybe you need more of, right? Circle those. Concentrate a little bit on those. They need a little extra care. Then you can begin also to think about specific things, that seeds, ideas you would like to plant in your garden of good. Now on the other side where it's written, what that is it's actually a passage from Ernest Holmes, from, I think it's from this thing called You. Did I write down what it's from? Yeah, okay. From this thing called You. And this is his specific recipe for using the law of attraction. You know, you use the law of attraction, and then daily you need to reinforce that you are creating this garden. So this is a series of affirmations that you can quickly read or read aloud and use to keep yourself on track. Pulling out the weeds, planting the seeds of good, knowing and trusting the law of growth. As we become clear on exactly what we want, and this plan is going to evolve, just like, you know, if you plant a vegetable garden, you keep planting new vegetables. It's not a one-time deal. As you become clearer and clearer on what you want, as you create a definite mental atmosphere of good that you would like to experience, then you're creating this vibration. Just like when Lucille sings a song, she is just creating a vibration, and it's manifested into these words and notes that we can hear. Like that, when we create our metaphysical consciousness, garden of consciousness, we're also sending out a vibration into creative mind. And it attracts that good into our lives. And that's the way the law of nature works. That's the way the law of mind works. You can rely on it. So start putting the law of attraction into conscious use today, because you're already using it. Put it into conscious use. Then just relax and let a power greater than you are work for you and through you. Seek your good cheerfully with great expectations, and good will flow to you, and that is the way it is. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Great talk. I'm looking for a miracle. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I see the invisible. I'm looking for a miracle. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I see, yeah, the invisible. The sky is the limit to what I can have. The sky is the limit to what I can have. If I believe and receive it, I can have it today. Hey, if I believe and receive it, I can have it today. I expect a miracle every day. I will make a way out of nowhere. I expect a miracle every day. I join in. I will make a way out of nowhere. I expect a miracle every day. I will make a way out of nowhere. If I believe and receive it, I can have it today. If I believe and receive it, I can have it today. I'm looking for a miracle. I expect the impossible. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I feel the intangible. I see the invisible. I see the invisible. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. I expect the impossible. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I feel the intangible. I see the invisible. I see the invisible. I'd just like to give a shout out to the Clark sisters who wrote that tremendous song. The Clark sisters.
Oh, you guys are great. You all sang. So thank you, Lucille, for leading that, teaching it. Okay, so now we have our moment of knowing our prosperity and knowing prosperity for this center as we just take a moment and visualize this Center for Spiritual Living Carlsbad, growing and flourishing, and we know together that this center is an idea in the mind of God, an idea in our own minds, and that it prospers. And that as it prospers, each person who is connected with the center in any way also prospers and experiences abundance in their lives, in our lives. This is the truth. I know it is so, and I give great thanks for the abundance that is ours to share today. And so it is. And you're going to help us sing.
I am so blessed.
Yeah.
You bet. Okay. Let me see. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Lucille. So I invite you to close your eyes and to go within and just recognizing the abundant blessings that it's everywhere and it's full of us. I know there's only one power, one presence, and one essence of light and love and infinity that continues to express itself through all and as all. And I know that I am all that God is, for I am the abundant nature of God. I am prosperous and I am whole, and I live and move and have my beingness in this abundance. And I know this is my divine truth. I know this is the divine truth for each and every individual here in the power and the presence of the Most High. I know each and every person is created within their own mind, their own heart, their own soul, and whatever they desire, whatever they are looking to create in the future just comes to them with ease and grace. It is a divine receiving that is continually flowing into the hearts and the minds and the souls of each and every congregant that is here, allowing the power and the presence of God to have its way in the most unusual, most blessed way possible. And I'm just grateful for these manifestations and these demonstrations and this wholeness that continues to express itself in this center called CSL Carlsbad. And I'm grateful for everyone who has made this happen today, Lucille Park and Reverend Kate DuVivier, and everyone who has given their time and their talent and service as I release my word into the law of mind, knowing that it is good and it is done, and so it is.
So it is.
Okay, we're going to have our closing song and then fellowship. So if you want to rise, the song is on the back of your program.
Open your heart. Let your love go free. Right over the ocean. Right across the street. Let it flow like a river. Let it fly like a dove. Till your heart remembers you can't stop love. Once you get it started, watch what it does. It'll go full circle. You can't stop love. Open your heart. Let your love go free. to your hungry man.